So you guys want to run through the question, or do you want me to intro?
You can intro.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we already know who these guys are, and Robbie and Courtney, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Courtney Young.
Yeah, so,
Sorry. Okay, can everybody hear me now? All right, so my name is Courtney Young. I'm the co-founder of Sourfish Events, and we put on a race series called the Great Pumpkin Run, and we've been doing that since 2012. Started out pretty small with one event, but this year we're doing 19 of them, and a virtual run, which I think some of you have heard about and talked to us about before.
My name is Roger McClung. I live in West Virginia. I'm kind of from Florida and West Virginia. I have a couple of events, the Albemarle Half Marathon and the Kidney Valley Half Marathon and 10K. I've been in the running industry for about 5-6 years now, but I come from like a hospitality and events background. I've worked in the restaurant industry and done a lot of events through that. I also work for a not-for-profit in the Florida Keys. I produce a concert series. But so I have about 5 concerts and 2 festivals that I manage a year, and I also kind of have a small digital marketing company as well, which is one way my races have been able to grow. So
great. So what we want to do is a lot of us don't have a formal marketing background, and so what would you guys recommend as educational tools for people in the audience to maybe try to get better at marketing?
I would definitely suggest the Google Ads Academy, and then that's completely free. It will take a lot of your time. Prepare for, I'm talking 10 hours per little program. So you can also check out the Facebook Ads certification, but that one is pricey. So consider your options there, but definitely those 2.
I guess I would say just really network, get to know people who might know more than you about marketing, talk to them, listen to podcasts, read books, and just stay on top of industry trends, and don't be afraid to try something new.
What are your favorite podcasts?
Well, I don't know. I have a few. One of my favorite, it has nothing to do with running, or marketing really, but I love Skim from the Couch because they bring on different people who work in various industries, like some are running yoga, other businesses, and you get to take different things away from them that just teach you about, how people have grown their own businesses and that we can then implement into ours.
Say that again. What was the name of that?
Skim from the Couch.
well, yeah, you can also look. Hootsuite has a really awesome blog and kind of like an informative. I guess they have their own curriculum too that tends to be really well. If you want to learn about Facebook ads and stuff, I think one really neat thing is if you just go on Facebook and like search Facebook ads and ping some of the various people that you come up, you'll get walked through the process because a lot of the like Facebook marketers and stuff have some really great sales funnels or however they market to you. There was one, I think, Frank Kern. If you go on his, you'll see, next thing you know, you'll see him everywhere, and then he'll start talking to you about why you see him everywhere, and you're like, wow, this is weird. But he kind of walks you through the process. But if you search digital marketing in Facebook, you'll learn a lot because you'll be followed around by digital marketing ads for a long time. Udemy is really good. They have a lot of courses that are $10. I highly, $10 isn't much money, and I think you can get a lot of value from any of those classes as well.
Would you say
Udemy, Udemy. So
and the Big Run actually covered this a little bit, Courtney, and I thought it'd be good to get your ideas on this. They talk a lot about brand. Being consistent with brand. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So being consistent with your brand, obviously they touched on it, but it's so important. Your branding's everything. So for us, that means not only keeping your brand consistent across your different platforms like Facebook, Instagram. We use Strava a lot, keeping it consistent on there. But like I said, we have 19 events coming up this fall. So our brand needs to be consistent across those 19 events. So that if someone's running our race in Lansing, their friend could run it in Akron and they're getting the same exact experience.
So Courtney, to kind of continue with that, you guys have a bunch of different employees, so how are you guys collaborating to make sure that your brand stays consistent from like results to your website to everything in between?
Yeah, I mean, we're actually a really small company, so it's pretty easy. There's 3 of us that work here full time, so being able to stay consistent like on that front is pretty easy just because we are in such a small office and we've been doing the same brand, same everything for so long that it's kind of comes second nature to us.
As someone who went through a branding change, I disagree. I still get messages about how something I'm doing is wrong.
Lowercase u.
You always count this anyway.
So Robbie, you mentioned you came from hospitality and tourism. When you were in that industry, what did you take away from hospitality and tourism that you would then apply in our industry?
Well, first, my marketing, when I tend to a lot of times when I market events, coming from like that's like the tourism thing is looking, at the big picture. So, a lot of times like, I look at the area. So like when I started my event, the Canadian Valley Half Marathon, where a lot of times I'll look to the CVBs or Visitor Bureau or Chamber of Commerce or those various organizations or just why people are going to that area. And there's a lot like, we're in Philly, so I was looking up the Philly Marathon before I came here, and if like you go to their Instagram feed, and it is very run-centric, but if you go to visit Philly, they have all these great things about why you should come visit Philly. And I think a lot of times there's this outline of why people go places, like in the Florida Keys. For that, and I've spent a lot of time working with the Tourism Development Council and watching their pitches on why you go to the Florida Keys. And there's a lot of why you do things that aren't just, for running. There's a lot of reasons people run races that aren't just running. Like, so if I were going to run a race in Philly or anywhere, I might also want to look at all the cool things there that are outside the race. So I try to always put that approach, the why, like all the whys that are outside of the running industry when it comes to doing that event. And then the other thing which comes down to branding or being consistent, they talk about is being pretty true that you're in the experience business. So that experience for the runner from the moment they see your brand, or, I still have Peter Pan syndrome, so I guide whitewater rafting part-time. But, in that respect, it's like, it's not just the raft trip. It's the time they see you at the raft company, to the bus ride to the river, your time on the river, but it's the same thing as a run. So being the experience business, I guess, would be what I would take away, those 2 things.
Yeah.
Be careful in the back there. Don't you fall off.
Yeah.
I'm a musician too, so I can work.
Let me see the mic because I want to add on.
Yeah.
And one thing he said that was really important, and we were talking about original content, and when you do look at what's around an event, so he was talking about Philly and working with the tourism board, bringing that in, it's a great way to come up with more content for your page. So, it's a struggle every once in a while to come up with posts. But if you can say, here's the things that are great about when you're here, hit these landmarks, do these things in town. This is some of the favorite restaurants for runners. Here's some of the favorite things that you should see. It's useful information, and it does go to building the brand and the experience.
And one thing, we have 2 events that occur near festivals. We contact the festival, they give us tickets, and we manage our events. So it's one of our things we push out there, push it in the event.
That's great.
Yeah, if you can create any kind of partnerships with these local events or these local happenings, that's definitely going to help a lot.
So this is for the Big Run team. You guys have experience with large national brands. So most of us here would probably not consider ourselves large national brands. So obviously we have different challenges and things. So like, how do you guys work with, or how do you approach that for smaller groups?
Yeah, when I started out, I worked with Gore-Tex, New Balance, Under Armour, Sony. We launched a movie called The Hobbit. So the difference is marketing doesn't change based on the thing other than budget. So they had a lot more money to spend. The principles in marketing and getting people and the branding that we talk about here if you can create a strong brand emotion and get people involved with your product, the campaigns are similar. So it's not like there's a special Facebook for, Sony. They're doing the same ads. Maybe they get a little help from Facebook, but they're doing the same ads that you would do. They're doing the same campaigns, coming up with stuff like the March Madness medal thing. Those are all campaigns to drive interest in your event. So what we learned from that was basically taking large ideas and applying them to our clients so that we can convert and do the same stuff.
Robbie, when you're looking at a Facebook ad, what is the most important metric that you follow?
And I guess, in the end, it would be return on amount spent. But, they brought up Big Run Media, you guys brought up several times about the funnels. I think it's important is not to look, I really think you're going to lose money fast if you think of it as a Facebook ad. So I always run a series of ads. So I actually look at the end result of my campaign or my 2 to 3 ads. Like I'll have a cold audience ad and a warm audience ad, and then running ads in conjunction, because if you study sales or those things, it's really like somebody just doesn't see your ad like run my race and they don't click and register, so you want to get them in that funnel or in that process and make sure. So think of ads as a group of ads, and look at the Facebook, do a little research there, go to Udemy or go to Hootsuite or Adspresso or any of these and do a little research there. But run your ads in conjunction, cost per clicks, and those certain things are very important. At the end of the day, I think it's return on amount spent, but I think it's important to think of ads as a group of ads that work together, campaign, or however you want to put that, and not just one Facebook ad.
And I want to get y'all's perspective as well from Big Run.
Yeah, I think that's great when he's saying you have this conglomerate of ads. But you have to think about your event. You're not doing an event for 1 year. You're doing an event, hopefully, for year over year over year. So the person that you don't convert into a sale this time isn't necessarily out of your marketing. Now, they're in there for next year, and when we start that program and you offer it, who knows what the reason was for not doing the Canadian half. It might have been a bad weekend for them. They might have had a wedding that weekend, or they're going whitewater rafting, or to a concert in Key West. Hopefully.
I win both ways.
Yeah. So, it's not just, while that return on investment is the most important in your advertising budget, I'm not going to say it's not, but don't think of it as wasted money when you're not converting on awareness.
Right, and I think it's one of the most important metrics in Facebook, but there are a ton, honestly. If you're understanding what they mean and you're actually trying to become more informed about what your ads metrics mean to you, then you can do a lot with them. Like reach, if anybody doesn't know what reach is, it's basically how many unique people see your ads. So impressions is just how many times it's been seen, and reach is how many unique people have seen it. So if you think about that way, reach could be a very important metric, because you're basically saying, I'm presenting my event to thousands of people.
Yeah, so Courtney, bringing you back in, we've talked a lot about advertising, but one of the strengths that you guys have is building community, and you mentioned that a little bit earlier. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys build community? And obviously, Big Run talked a little bit about that with groups and things.
Yeah, sure. So we do a lot of paid ad spend, but we do focus on community, and I think that's one of the biggest things here is that we felt that the Great Pumpkin Run, we built it into a brand, and then we have put out there. So last year we worked with Strava. We did a huge thing with our virtual run and getting people to engage on our Strava group, whether they're running it virtually or at one of our physical events. We did the same thing with our Great Pumpkin Run community group on Facebook. It's an awesome way for people to just engage with one another and really, ask questions to each other. Maybe someone's like, hey, do you know what the course is like in Lansing? And instead of them shooting an email over to us, somebody's run that race the past 4 years and they know what it's like and they're able to help each other out. And building that community amongst them is really, I think it's a really special thing, especially because we get a lot of first-time runners. And with them to have these people to connect with, it's just really awesome.
And I think this question was kind of targeted for Courtney, but I think it's probably good for all of you guys to participate in. So Instagram is still a bit of a wild west. So what kind of content are you guys using now to get people engaged on Instagram? Maybe just start with Courtney, we'll go over.
Yeah, so we actually do a lot of contests on Instagram, and it's turned out to be highly engaging. We do a fun thing where it sounds so silly, but we take one of our training tanks and we take a picture of it on an object, and then we crop it out that you can't see really where it's taken, except for the small corner of it. And then we get a ton of people responding to that contest, just trying to win a tank top. And that's one of the most engaging things that we've been doing on Instagram lately. And so it sounds so silly, but like, try it. Try doing something just to engage with your audience and with your participants. And when they write back to you, be sure to answer them.
Yeah, engaging with your audience is very important. Instagram, I think, is extremely important, and I would say one of the most important things is Instagram stories. I use Adobe Spark, and something's happening when Adobe moves something. Like the size of the Instagram story, I think a month ago was like 10 options down, and it's second now. So it's very important. Yeah, and I actually think Instagram's going to be even more important next year during the election, because people are going to get fed up with all this stuff on the feed, and you're seeing a mass exodus. And I really think the more we get into election season, people are going to jump over to Instagram. So I would pay a lot of attention to that in Instagram stories. One of the biggest mistakes, my race in Florida, Alvarado Half Marathon, I have like 3,000 Instagram followers. I manage marketing for a brewery, Florida Keys Brewing Company, and our Instagram pages were started at the same time. I was paid to post every day for theirs, so I posted every day for theirs, and we still do. And they have like 18,000 followers on Instagram now, and I have 3. So I used to think that there was no money in Instagram, and I'm like, I'm not making money off this. I'm just going to post once every 2 weeks or something. And now I see that I was wrong. So I would pay attention to Instagram.
Yeah, the other side of our business, we actually have a website called believeintherun.com. And our biggest growth right now is on Instagram. So, once you cross a certain threshold on Instagram, your followers just grow immensely.
They explode.
And it's a great way for us to market all of our other channels. But some ways, if you don't have a large Instagram audience right now, I would say take a look at races that are in your area or races that are similar sizes of you. See what their hashtags are. Mm-hmm. Race day, everybody's going to hashtag their medal shot. They're going to do that. That's your time to congratulate them. Kind of go in and just interact with the people on other people's channels. So take a proactive start with it. They're going to come. You can grow your audience that way. It's free. It's time consuming, but it's free. So yeah, it's a great way to kind of, I wouldn't say hijack, but you want a running audience, especially in your area, and if these are runners in your area and you can see what they're up to, start interacting with them, you can convert them over into your audience, grow your audience.
And I just wanted to build on that Instagram stories part. If you haven't noticed, whenever you go on Instagram, you're not going to see every single person that you follow. So a great thing about your Instagram stories is that if you have a new post, put it up there, put the little tap here GIF on it so that when somebody sees it, they can tap through to your content and then like it. So you're getting a lot more reach. And then also when you're doing your stories, take advantage of all of those little stickers, those poll questions, or just having something set up to ask you a question about the race. It's a great way to engage with your audience.
Also, to kind of go off of stories, if you aren't making a story on race day, you should be.
Yes.
So definitely make a story about your race on race day. If you have more than one race, if you have a series, it's awesome for us at least that we can make a story at one of our early events in September, and then it's going to create that like hashtag FOMO that people like later in the season are like, oh, that looked awesome. I want to go run that now in Texas in November.
Along with what Courtney's saying is, you're right. It used to be like before they changed the algorithm, you would take all your photos and just post it into your feed, and it annoyed the hell out of people. stories people kind of expect it, so they're trained to digest it that way. So what she's saying is perfect for this like multiple many posts and giving people a lot of love, because not everybody sees just their pic, like they're not going to necessarily see all the other posts that you do, but when you hashtag them or repost their story, they feel loved.
Yeah, reposting their story is awesome. When people will hashtag your race after it or post their medal, and then if you share their post on your story, they feel famous for a little bit. So
They love it.
give them that.
And it's content for you.
So we're at our time now. We got through half the questions, so good job, guys. I think they did a really excellent job trying to distill it down into like bite-sized pieces. We really appreciate these guys taking their time and like really kind of breaking it down for all of us. Here's like a really good pro tip. People like free food. I got a feeling if you like said, "Hey, I'll take you out to eat. Will you tell me stuff?" I'm pretty sure they're gonna say yes. Just put it out there.
Or beer.
Especially if you're gonna give them
Or
beer.
cookie.
Yeah.
I like cookies.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love you.